Coming up on our show today, we'll send it over to Sammy and Sherelle at the desk. Then I'll update you on a 50-year-old man who was pushed in front of a train. We'll say happy birthday to texting. Then we'll send it over to Anton, who will give you news updates from Egypt, China, India, and Syria. Your iBlock News starts now.
Yellow model chick, yellow bottle sipping, right? And then it goes faster. Every time I come a jigga guys at it, then I gotta go and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a jigga thing to be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm on a no matter anything and everything. Bada boom, bada bing, gotta do a lot of things, make it clear to a couple jiggas that I'm always winning, and I gotta get it again and again and again. Hello, I'm Amy.
And I'm Nick.
And we're Carmen, and you're watching iBlock News.
Good morning, PW. I'm your host, Sherelle Gray.
And I'm Sammy Schwartz, and here are today's announcements. Attention, any student who has ordered a class ring, please plan on attending a breakfast to receive your ring. It will be held in Cafe West on Wednesday, December 12th. See Mrs. Savage in room 13 if you have any questions. Wrestling is away at Perkiomen Valley at 2 o'clock. The girls' basketball tip-off tournament at Methacton is at 7:30. The boys' basketball tip-off tournament is in the CES gym at 6.
Come wear your red tonight at the PW Colonials home opener against Dobbin Tech. Get here at 7:10 because the student section behind the net is going to fill up. Don't forget to be extra loud. Go Colonials! All varsity cheerleaders are to report to Cafe East instead of Colonial Elementary School at 4:30 for pre-game practice. Also, any girls interested in being on the JV cheerleading squad, please see Miss T in the nurse's office. We'll be right back with Louis Wine and the national news after this break.
Winter track is a great sport that provides multiple benefits for the student athlete. There are so many great aspects of winter track because it's such a flexible and non-time consuming sport. It's only 2 hours and 45 minutes and you get to make new friends at the same time. Track is also a great way to exercise. You are running and as a growing teen it is essential to stay healthy. You are getting close with your teachers who are also your coaches. Next, transportation is provided after practice so you can take the 5:30 bus home. The bus ride is short and effective. Finally, track gives you something to do after school and keeps you out of trouble. With all these great aspects of track, such as the time, flexibility, and benefits to your health and friendships you make, why not join track? It will change your life and make you even healthier. Running is so good for you and is essential to a young teen's life.
Good morning, PW. I'm Louis Wine with a look at your national news. A 23-year-old Northeast Philadelphia man is under arrest charged with impersonating a police officer. The suspect has been identified as Julian Collins. Collins was arrested Wednesday night outside of the 7-Eleven on the 9,000th block of Frankfort Avenue. Police say Collins was in a silver Toyota Camry with a strobe light on the dash when he stopped a car in the parking lot. Collins went up to the victim, flashing a gold badge. At the same time, two plainclothes cops in an unmarked car drove by and saw the whole incident. Collins was taken into custody. Authorities say that this was the second time Wednesday night in which somebody impersonated a police officer. Investigators say two men posed as cops in the Holmesburg section of the city about a half an hour before Collins' arrest. The duo stopped two men in a car on the 4300th block of McNamee Street. The men were handcuffed and police say there was a brief struggle. One of the victims broke his arm. He was taken to the Aria Torresdale Hospital. Neighbors in the area are urging others to be aware of who's stopping you before you pull over. One resident warned, quote, "They have numbers on their cars and that's a way to find out who's phony and who's real." Police do not believe the two crimes are related. If you have any information on the impersonators, you are urged to call Philadelphia Police. The 58-year-old father pushed off a New York City subway platform in front of an oncoming train was mourned at his funeral Thursday, a day after his accused attacker was arraigned on a second-degree murder charge. Family and friends remembered Kai Suk Han at a funeral home in Queens, New York, where his 20-year-old daughter Ashley carried a photo of him and described how her dad urged her to go to college and live the American dream. Late Wednesday night, a 30-year-old former deli worker was charged with shoving him off of the 49th Street station platform. As he walked past reporters, Neon Davis said, quote, "He attacked me first, he grabbed me." Prosecutors James Lynn told the judge that Davis watched the Q train strike Han before leaving the station. Davis is due back in court next week. The suspect's last known address was in a working-class neighborhood in Queens. The only neighbor who even vaguely remembered Davis was Charles Dawes, of 80 years old, who stays with his son 2 doors down. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of Kai Suk Han. Merry Christmas. 20 years ago Monday, that simple holiday greeting was the first text message sent. It was sent by Neil Papworth of Sema Group Telecoms to Richard Jarvis of Vodafone UK, who was at his office Christmas party at the time. Papworth, who now lives with his family in Montreal and is still in the telecom game, was 22 at the time. He forever changed the course of communications history, but he admits that he was clueless as to what he had done. Vodafone, which is the driving force behind texting at the time, was eager to figure out a way to modernize the new technology. Since Papworth sent the first text, more than 40 trillion texts have been sent worldwide. That works out to 3.3 texts per day for every person on Earth. It is also estimated alone that in 2012, over 8.5 trillion texts, generating $231 billion in revenue. Texting, like all powerful technology, has seen its ups and downs. It has been used to save countless lives, raised billions of dollars, scammed who knows how many, and they also have won competitions. Austin Wysack won the National Texting Competition in 2011 and 2012, earning $50,000 in prize money each time, and ended the political careers of men known. It's hard to say how much longer messaging will be around. It's such a huge part of our daily lives, but here, Papworth tell it, he probably won't be getting inundated with calls until 2032. Quote, "I think text messaging is going to be around for a while, whether it's another 20 years, I don't know," he said. Probably not 20 years to get rid of something that's so ingrained in our lives that we use so frequently. Why do we use it so frequently? Because it's simple and it works. That's all for your national news. I'm Louis Wine. We'll send it over to Melissa with a track PSA. Have a great day. I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Anton Smolik with your international news. India's state oil company, ONGC, is exploring 3 oil blocks close to the disputed Spratly Islands, known as Nansasha Islands in China, in partnership with the Vietnamese government, which claims sovereignty over the collection of 45 tiny islands and atolls among the China, Taiwan, Brunei, Malaysia, and the Philippines. Tensions have escalated in recent weeks after China's Henan provincial government passed new rules allowing its police patrol boats to board ships and vessels in vital South China Sea shipping lanes. Responding to questions on how India would safeguard its $600 million investments in the sea, its new Naval Chief Admiral D.K. Joshi said he would send ships to protect freedom of navigation in international waters. If the situation required it, we are prepared for that, he said. His comments were made earlier this week while India's National Security Advisor, Shiv Shankar Menon, was in Beijing for talks on the country's long-running land border dispute. They brought a sharp rebuke from China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesman Hong Lei, who said India should respect its sovereignty and halt its oil and gas exploration. China has indisputable sovereignty over the Nasasha Islands and their adjacent waters. China opposes unilateral exploration and development of oil and gas in contested waters of the South China Sea. We hope relevant countries can respect China's claim, he said. In further news, Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi has called for a meeting with the opposition. On Saturday, to defuse the political crisis, clashes between the opponents and supporters of Mr. Morsi left 5 people dead and 644 injured overnight. Mr. Morsi said he supported the right to protest, but alleged that some people had been paid to foment violence. Meanwhile, there are reports of an attack on the Cairo headquarters of Mr. Morsi's Muslim Brotherhood movement. Spokesman for the Muslim Brotherhood said that the building had been set on fire. In a televised speech, Mr. Morsi expressed sorrow over the deaths in recent days. He said that 80 people have been detained as they had been implicated in violent acts. He also said that a controversial article in a recent decree which gave him sweeping powers could be modified after discussions with the opposition forces. This decree also stripped the judiciary of any power to challenge his decisions. Mr. Morsi confirmed that the referendum on the 15th of December would go ahead as planned, saying that if the Constitution was voted down, another constituent assembly would be formed to write a new draft. Earlier on Thursday, the army had set up barricades outside the presidential palace after ordering protesters to leave the area. Most anti-Morsi protesters had left the area around the palace by 3 p.m. deadline. Some opposition activists remained, and their numbers increased as the evening fell. The opposition said before Mr. Morsi's speech that it will continue to hold demonstrations. In Syria, Syrian rebels are preparing to mount their zero-hour campaign to take Damascus, with fears that the capital is facing total destruction in the coming months. There's the risk of the total destruction of Damascus, said Peter Harling, project director with the Middle East program of International Crisis Group. The regime is well entrenched in some parts of Damascus, and the opposition is unable to come up with a political vision to offer an exit to the bulk of people fighting for the regime. You could see a repeat of the level of destruction that we have seen in other towns, but it would be worse than this time. What transition do you expect when you destroy the seat of power? As the rebels advanced, the United States said they were very, very concerned that Bashar al-Assad's regime would resort to using chemical weapons. I think there's no questions that we remain very concerned that as opposition advances, in particular on Damascus, the regime might very well consider the use of chemical weapons. Leon Panetta, the U.S. Defense Secretary, said. That is all for international news, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Anton Smolik. Have a fantastic evening.
The word Hanukkah is derived from a Hebrew word meaning dedication. The events that inspired the celebration of Hanukkah took place around 200 BC. Judea was taken over by Antiochus. He outlawed the Jewish religion and ordered the Jews to worship Greek gods. In 168 BC, his army attacked Jerusalem, massacred thousands, and burned the city's second holy temple. In time, Judah Maccabee and his followers were able to successfully drive the Syrians out of Jerusalem by using guerrilla warfare tactics. Judah and his followers then began to restore the Second Temple. They rebuilt the altar and lit its menorah, and they restored whose 7 branches represented knowledge and creation. According to the Talmud, the Jews that took part in the rededication of the Second Temple witnessed a miracle. Although there was only enough olive oil to keep the candles lit for one more day, the flames continued to burn for 8 nights, giving them enough time to find fresh oil. This miraculous event inspired a yearly 8-day festival. On each of the holidays' 8 nights, another candle is added to the menorah. Hanukkah has become a holiday with historical significance that is celebrated all around the world.
Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. 2 days.
Big changes are in the forecast for this upcoming weekend. I'm David Wynn with a look at the complete breakdown. We'll first take a look at the latest temperatures, and you can see that currently we are warming up into the mid-30s at this hour, and I expect temperatures to continue to warm up as we head through this afternoon. However, since we do have some cloud cover moving in from the west, this will cause temperatures to stay on the cooler side as we head through this afternoon. Latest radar, we'll go to the radar now, and you can see that we have a lot of showers moving to our northeast at this hour as we have a warm front pushing off to the north. But we'll take a look at the surface map, and as we head through this afternoon, I'm expecting additional showers to continue through the day as a warm front will continue to push off to the north. Now we'll take a look at the futurecast, and so let's go to the futurecast. And as we head through this weekend, showers will continue as a very large cold front is going to develop over the Ohio Valley. And as we head into Monday, I expect this cold front to really intensify, and we're going to have to deal with some periods of very heavy rain as we head through the day on Monday, with some big time changes occurring behind that cold front on Tuesday through the rest of the week, which will lead to some snow later in the month. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast, and today expect showers with a high of 47 and a low of 43. Tomorrow expect a few showers with a high of 58 and a low of 44. Sunday, showers are likely with a high of 52 and a low of 48. Monday, expect periods of heavy rain with a high of 64 and a low of 40. Tuesday will be much cooler with a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 44 and a low of 30. Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 45 and a low of 33. And Thursday will also be mostly sunny with a high of 47 and a low of 33. That is all for today. For iBlock News, I'm David Wynn. Have a great day.
We have one final announcement. The Environmental Science Club will be having a bake sale next Monday, December 10th during all lunches.
Well, that's all for your news, PW. I'm Cheryl Gray, along with Louie Wine and Sandy Squirts. Have a wonderful, happy Hanukkah.